kind of crazy nowadays as well. Like with all the shit that's coming out in the news about like the files, and I was looking at it for like the longest time since like maybe 2016. Like I literally must have been 11 at the time, but like it's interesting to like read these things and to know, and I don't know. It's crazy like how it feels like nobody cares and no one's talking about it. And I guess you can say like, oh, it's too dark for people to talk about, but that's like what? We don't talk about like all these bad things, you know? We don't talk about like who did what or whatever. We just ignore it. Because something like that happened in one of the group chats I was in, where like one guy is well, I've been told this guy has been doing shit, and then like everyone acts like he hasn't, and when we bring it up, it's all quiet, you know? No one wants to talk about it, so it's like, you know, it's very important to talk about these things, and it feels like I knew it was bad, but then like you actually like see what's there, and you're like, oh wow, this is worse than even I thought it would be, and like I don't read it anymore, or else I don't like look at the images. Like something will pop up on my Instagram, and then I'll look into it then. But for the most part, it's like it's too disturbing to like even look at. But it's weird how like basically all the secrets of the universe is being unrevealed, and like no one gives a fuck. Like people are too scared or too like focused on their jobs and to like look at it, and it's like it's kind of sad, I guess. I don't know. It makes me sad a bit. And you look throughout like history and you're like, how could this like have happened? I've been reading one of the Fire and Ice, no, it's Fire and Blood, and it's this fake history book about like all of Targaryen history from Game of Thrones. And first of all, it's an amazing book, but like it makes you look back on history and like makes you think like, oh fuck, did that even happen? You know? Like there was one thing I was reading last night. It's like at page 160, and it's all about this made up person and how this noble lady slept with a peasant, and she gave birth to his son. But by doing so, she was forever, you know, dismissed from nobility, I guess. And she was forced to like live out some like what was it? Sorry, give me a sec. Fuck, I'm an idiot. She was forced to live out as a wet nurse for other people's babies and feed them, and that was common for noble people at least back then. Uh, but since she was already like in this negative light, she said, "Okay, well, I might as well just go the full way." And she was told to have like tried to sleep with the king or something. What I'm trying to get to is like once you do something that's considered bad and you are given like this kind of aura, not aura, but like this negativity around you, it's hard to kind of get rid of that, and it might stick for a bit, you know, and it might push some people to like go further with it as well. And the only way to stop that is by just stopping the root completely. At least talking about these things. That's what I like hated the most about school. Like if you want to stop like racism, you need to talk about it. You need to say why people believe these things, why they are so strongly against other people. And it's very, very important that like we can understand these things to a level where we can explain why they're wrong. You like of course like saying, oh, racism is bad. Why? Because it hurts other people. Yeah, but you can also be like racism is bad because it stops other people from being able to complete themselves, you know? It stops a potential doctor, it stops like a potential writer, anything from growing in this business and creating something you love. That's like my opinion of it, and like to understand where these things come from and how bad it is and why it's bad, and especially understanding other people's culture and why they do these things. It's really really important to me that like understanding is like, you know, all the way on top. This is kind of like a warrior girl, and most of this is like blacked out, which is kind of annoying because I only got a pen. So the only thing like I would never understand is maybe Muslim people, because I think like naturally with humans, to some level, we are very um Jesus, how do I say this? Like, we know what's right and wrong, you know? And we don't want to do something like as most of human history, we understand that girls, like young girls at least, need to be protected, you know? And like children need to be protected. And then like when we encounter this like culture where it's like it's in them to marry children, it's like what the fuck? It's very confusing. I don't know. And it's something I don't think I'll ever understand fully. Full stop. There was one quote I heard, and I've always thought about it, and I think it's a really, really cool like idea that like let's put this in terms of like characters and writing because it makes it easier to understand. Uh, like I think it was from the Fallout TV show, and it was like, oh, I'd be a good person too if I lived in these conditions, you know? If I was like a vault dweller and not a ghoul who lived 200 years, I'd be a good person too if I didn't have to fight every day to live. I think it's a very interesting idea, and I think like I want to use that with my characters at least one day in the future and expand on it like a lot because it's such a cool idea, is it not? Well, like you can suggest like, oh, if your character went through a different life, you know, they wouldn't be a bad guy, but because of what's happened to them and really kind of how they've reacted to the situation, they kind of had to evolve in such a way where like fighting is their their idea of the right action, you know? That not being peaceful and not like being able to mingle, I guess, is the easiest way of saying it. It'd be such a cool idea for a story. It's kind of annoying when like I have all these ideas in my head and like you want to spit them out on a page or something, and it's like it's kind of impossible sometimes. At least like writing just I remember the last time I wrote, it took like 2 hours. And I enjoyed it. I really did, but it's just it's a lot of time commitment for someone who's in college and who'd rather draw. And I feel like it's so hard to write people talking and being friends because I don't have any fucking friends. At least I'm not good at like talking to people. It's difficult for some people. And you know what? And not for like all this negative shit. Like, sorry, can I just go back to the roommates? Because there was other good roommates. It's just like the roommates who are quiet and keep to themselves. They're fine, you know. Not everyone has to be like your neighbor. Not everyone has to be your bestie. That's fine. I understand that. It's just like let me just Yeah, I will say this exists. Fuck it. Yeah, that's fine. Not everyone has to be a neighbor. Not everyone has to like love you and look for you and like say, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" and all this shit, because I'd rather they don't. I think it's kind of annoying when they do, and it's very pesticizing. It feels like you're only being nice to me so we can coexist, and it's like, just like don't even like act that way then, you know? I spent like all last night watching this like fisherman, and all he has on his TikTok is like clipping the barnacles off the back of like crabs. I was watching him for like an hour straight. He has like the coolest life, but like he does with his bare hands, and that's like it's fucking scary because they look like aliens. Like barnacles, if you like actually look them up, they look like fucking aliens. They're creepy as shit. And it's very, very scary, and you think like someone could get a disease from that, you know? It looks like they could. I think it'd be cool if we could just maybe call all this area here dark, you know? And then it's up to the viewer to kind of think, maybe it's a cloak. That looks sick as a cloak. Yep, it's a cloak now. That's what it is. Cloak on the arm, like Ezio. By the way, I'm using H2 pencil. Just to remind myself, because every other pencil compared to this is fucking ass. There's no other good pencil, except like maybe this one, which is HB. But that's only good for shading, really. Like this, but it's more heavy shading. I might as well use it. Like, can you see the difference already? Yeah. Much cooler. Maybe it's here. Maybe. No, this is braided up here. That's a good idea. I need to do that again. I would love to go live as well on YouTube, so I can talk to people. But the thing is that it is fucking... You need like 50 subs. I'm well, not really, I have like 7 brave soldiers looking after me. But I'd like to, you know, get a bit more. So if you'd be willing to support me, that'd be fucking cool. I appreciate it. This is just a hobby, you know. And that's that. By the way, I've been getting these. If anybody knows what the fuck this is, I'm like dying from it. I got like, is it? This was bigger a few days ago. This was like up here. It's scary. I don't know.